Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday morning makes. Oh my goodness. And happy Halloween weekend. I hope you guys all had a lovely Halloween last night. My son and I handed out candy, but it was pouring rain here in Seattle. Matter of fact, it's still pouring rain this morning. It's very early on Saturday morning. It's about 5:30 a.m. as I go to film this. And I thought I would show you the finished ornaments that I didn't get to show you during the tutorial. So I finished this one, and this is the one I was talking about that I had cut out of book paper. So I used watercolor cardstock behind for the backers on each of these. And then I used three 65-pound stacked book paper snowflakes. And this time I stacked all of the fronds straight up and down. And this is the look that you get. And I did on this one, I did pull forward a little bit the fronds on the smaller snowflakes. So this is how you get this look. And then on the back, I put the word hope. And that was a little die cut that I got from, oh geez, I can't remember the company, but these have been in my stash for a long time. This one might be a Spellbinders one. But anyway, this is just backed with another piece of the book paper, and then I cut out the word hope from book paper and then used red cardstock. And then this is topped with just a wood button. And I got these, I think, at Dollar Tree or something. And I did add a little bit of tea dye ink to the bead also. And then this is just Dollar Tree twine tied through in the same way that I showed you on the video how to tie this tie for the joy ornament. So this is one that I didn't get to show you on camera during the tutorial that I did. This is the finished one that we made on camera. So this is the two-sided snowflake tag with pearls added to the center, okay? So I love how these turn out, and this was the tutorial that my sweet friend Patty, hello Patty, had requested. And this is the ornament that I showed you at the end where I said I didn't have time to put it together. This is all put together, and then on this one I did a red velvet tie. So those are all the ornaments. I still think my very favorite one is this sweet little tiny joy ornament. So if you haven't had a chance to see this tutorial yet, it is on my channel, and I want to thank everybody that's taken a look and given me such sweet feedback. And the reason I wanted to show these again today was also to say that if there's any tutorials that you guys would like me to do on anything that I've done in the past, if there's something that you're interested in me talking about more, please just leave it in the comments on this video today, and I will try and make those videos. I keep a running list of videos that people have asked me for. I thought I'd show this stamp today. It says, stay tuned. I could stamp something brilliant at any moment. So we're so blessed to have so many artists that produce stamps, and I love stamping. It's my first love. Above die cutting, above anything else, I just love to stamp in color. So that is what I did for you this weekend, and I want to dive in and start by saying that this week's theme for Two Crafters, One Design, that is led by the wonderful Melissa of Mo Creations, Gloria of Girliest Cards, and Lisa of UCY Diva, and many, many of you in their community and in this beautiful community online participate in Two Crafters, One Design every week, and you take their theme and you run with it. This week's theme is Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse. I didn't have Mickey Mouse or Minnie Mouse in my stash, so I just started looking for mouse. And I came up with this stamp, which had sat uncolored for quite a while. This is a Carmen Medlin stamp from Impression Obsession. Now, Impression Obsession is out of business, so you'd have to look for this on resale sites if you're interested. I love her designs, Carmen Medlin. She was a designer for I.O., and I have several of her stamps, I believe, in my stash. This is one, when I went down and was looking for autumn inspiration, this is one that I found in my stash. So I created this beautiful card, and it was so fun to do some fall cards. I've been wanting to do them for weeks, but I've been trying to also get a start on my Christmas tags, as you guys know. So this is the card that I came up with. I colored this very lightly with Copic markers. Even the background of the stamp is colored with a B000. I edged with tea dye ink. And I do want to do a little more shading on the face and the ear. That pink is a little bit bright, so I'm going to dull that down a little bit. But for now, it's good enough. This is the card that I was coloring last, so I'm letting it dry. Then I'll see where I'm at. I used 2 little pieces of rounded cardstock to make this look like there's some orange ribbon that kind of sets off the card. And I drew your eye through the card by doing some beads and these little ribbons down through to the sentiment. And that sentiment, Hello Fall, is from these little tags that my sweet friend Susan Laverty made for me. And this uses the blank tag from the digitals from Lily of the Valley stamps. There's the Christmas sentiment set has 1 blank tag in it. And she takes that blank tag and puts it into her software on the silhouette, and then she put in the Hello Fall, and then she printed these out. So she sent me a whole bunch of these, and I love this little envelope that she made, and this little pumpkin is from the Not Too Shabby shop. It's one of Jamie's digitals. I don't know, I'm assuming you can still get it at the Not Too Shabby shop now. But Jamie has so many fun new things out, including a gingerbread paper pad and gingerbread stamps that are like hot cocoa and coffee themed. And it's such a cute set. So I may want to pick that one up and make some cards with it. But Jamie's the Not Too Shabby shop, and I just love this pumpkin, and it made me smile, so I thought I would show it, because this is how my friend Susan Laverty sent these little tags to me, and that's what I'm using on some of my cards today. So thank you, Susan. Thank you, Jamie. And then on this card, the frame that I used is this one here. So you can see that beautiful frame. And inside, I did that same frame again and just added a little piece of the paper. And on the back, I used more of this orange buffalo check. And the papers I'm using today are all from my scrap bin. I think except for one card where I did pull a piece of paper out of a new paper pad. But I can't tell you where the papers are from because, again, they're just leftover papers in my scrap bin. But that is my first card, this sweet little mouse for Autumn, and I just love how that turned out. So let me set this stuff aside, okay, and we'll go on to the next card. So this is the next card, and this uses a stamp set from Photoplay. And this is what the stamp set looks like. And I was inspired to create this card by my sweet friend Tina, who is Crafty Bean here on YouTube. And I have a card from Tina where she colored this image up beautifully. And I had the stamp set, but I just hadn't colored it. I think when I got it, I just never even colored it. So this is one where I'm finally putting ink to it. So Jamie would be proud of me. Poet Spice would be proud that I'm using something. It's always good to get ink on things that maybe we purchased, fell in love with, and then haven't had a chance to use. So I love the autumn theme of this stamp set, and it is called I Love Fall, and it's a Photoplay stamp set that's been around for several years. I don't know if it has a year on it that I can give you. I don't see it right now. But I just love how this card turned out, and I'll give you a little bit more information about what I used to create it. This beautiful rectangle frame with these cutouts in it is from the Greetery. So it's this die set from the Greetery. It is called, it's from 2019, and I do not see a name on it. So I can't give you the name, actually. Yep, no name. So, but this is the die set I used, and then on the back of the card, I used the smallest die in this set, and I stamped out the pumpkin and the little acorn. I popped up the acorn, and then I wrote I stamped wishing you a harvest of blessings. So just a really sweet card. Inside it says, I am thankful for a friend like you. And I did take I had a die cut on my table that had this little scalloped edge, and that was what I felt the card needed, just a little more detail right here. And a few of you, someone recently, and I've had the question before about how I make my cards so special and why they turn out so good, and different people have asked it different ways. But I did want to mention something that I keep in my mind. You want to plan your card at the beginning the best you can, like whether you're deciding what colors you're going to use and trying to match papers, or you're deciding on doing a background, Nancy, the Handy Scandy, is really good at showing how to do backgrounds. For this card, what I like to say is at the end of the card, the most important thing you can do with a card usually happens within the last 2 minutes. And those are the little intricate details that you add to the card to make it special. And I'll give you an example. I could have just glued down the Hello Fall just the way it is, but I set an eyelet and I added a little bow. And that adds a lot of detail to this card, the eyelet and the bow. And then I had them on here and there was no tree. And in the last 2 minutes, I grabbed this die out of my stash and I used it to create a tree in the background. And this is from Memory Box. This is very old. This is from 2012. And it's called Tall Birch. Okay, so there's the number. I thought the scenery to complete it needed a tree. So I went into my stash, found this, inked it up, and then added it to the side of the card. And then I still thought the card needed more, so I stamped out a bunch of the leaves in the set and the pumpkin. And I popped the pumpkin behind her feet and then had some of the leaves glued down and some are popped up. And that completed the scene. So in the last 2 minutes, I completely changed the way the card looked by adding these elements. So I wanted to mention that sometimes it's the last few minutes where maybe you're even getting tired by then, but the most important couple minutes of card making. I always try to decorate the inside to draw the eye to the sentiment, and then I like to add to the back, even if it's just a little frame and some additional stamping, or you can sign your cards or add a stamp that relates to signing the card. So that I hope that helps a little bit with answering the question of you know, what do I do to make my cards special? I think everybody makes very beautiful cards in this community, and I'm going to share some autumn cards with you that I pulled out that are decorating my room downstairs in my studio, and I think I'm going to pull them all together and I'll share them with you. Let me know if you're interested in that in the comments down below. The paper that I used on this card is the one sheet that I pulled from a paper pad, and that is the Gingerbread Village Honeybee Stamps paper pad from last Christmas. And I used this paper right here, and that's what I die cut my frames from. So that is that Hello Fall card. Then I have this card, and this is using a stamp from Red Lead Paperworks that many of you might remember from last year. I got this last year and at Christmas time, and I just fell in love with this. And it's, or it might have been the year before, I'm not sure. But anyway, it's this little puppy dog drinking hot cocoa. And most of you know I just love hot chocolate, especially once we have these rainy, cold days here in Seattle. It's nice to have hot things to drink. So I drink a lot of tea. I drink coffee with chocolate in it, different things. So I just fell in love with these two sets from Red Lead Paperworks. This one has Hot Chocolate Hug, Cozy Winter Vibes, Whimsical Winter, Enchanted Forest. And these three little stars are a great little stamp for adding to your cards and inside your cards. So these are from Red Lead Paperworks. And I just fell in love with this image, decided to color it with Copics. I thought it needed a scenery. So I wanted to make a scene card. And so I was looking for a piece of paper that looked like starlight. And I found this art. This is from a year ago. This is Art Impressions Winter Woodland Paper Pad. And I love Art Impressions papers. And so I found this one that looked like a starry dark night. And so I pulled that paper out to use. And I used this die, and I did paint on these trees with white paint to add the snow to them. I stamped the Hot Chocolate Hug sentiment, and then I did hand cut this out very carefully around the sled and everything, and I made a little snow hill here and so that the sled could be sitting on it. So this little puppy dog's outside drinking a beautiful cup of hot cocoa and looking at all the stars. So I love how that turned out. Inside it says Cozy Winter Vibes, and there's that beautiful star stamp and just a tiny little strip of paper to add detail. And I don't know if you can see it, but these are the XOXO border dies from my creative time. So, and then on the back, I just added the last strip of the paper and the word joy, because you know how much I love that word joy. So this is again, by Red Lead Paperworks is where the stamp image comes from. And I showed you all the products except for these. Here, hold on. So this is the XOXO border dies that I used on the inside of the card, and these are from my creative time. Okay. And then last, I have one more card to share with you. And I know many of you are probably counting down the hours until Anna White's release at Sweet Miss Daisy. I wanted to color something that was art from Anna, and I chose this Santa image. It is not a Sweet Miss Daisy design. She does have a Santa in her store that's very similar, but this one is actually from Whippersnapper Designs, and Anna still has images that are over at Whippersnapper. I'm not sure if she's still designing for them or if she's only designing for her own company now. I think probably she's just designing for Sweet Miss Daisy, but she'd have to answer that. But this was what I had available, and I have wanted to color this up since I got it from Whippersnapper. So it's just such a beautiful image, and I know that she has a similar Santa and some of these similar images in a set at Sweet Miss Daisy. I wanted to color it in honor of the release that she's doing this morning. Anna, so looking forward to watching your video and seeing everything that you're releasing for this beautiful November 1st release. And I just love how this card turned out. I took the time last night to paper piece this. And so I paper pieced it in this beautiful two-toned gingham. And then I recut out all the white fur and added a little bit of warm gray tones to the fur and to his beard. I cut his beard and face out again so that it would match the level of the coat. And I also hand cut out the little gingerbread, the candy cane, and colored in with Copics the pocket again and tried to match the tones back to his outfit. I paper pieced and cut out these tiny little holly leaves up at the top, and then his hat too. And then I hand trimmed out this 25 stamp, and the little frond there I stamped in tea-dye, Vintage Photo Distress ink. These two little stars and the frond. I added some of the little popped out snowflakes from the My Creative Time Snowflake Doily die. I think I forgot to bring that in, but that one is sold out right now. It'll be back on November 25th. And then these are a couple of Emma's snowflakes from her new snowflake set, which is also sold out, but will be back on November 25th, not December, but November. So this is such an adorable Santa image. I love how it looks paper pieced in the gingham, and I love how this card turned out. And she still has stamps and images at Whippersnapper Designs that you can get from her artistry. Hers have a T as the second letter. And don't forget to go and see what Anna has cooked up for the month of November. I'm so excited to go and look at her release today. So I'm looking forward to that video. I believe it starts at 10 a.m. I got to go check again. But anyway, inside I stamped the Merry Christmas sentiment from the set. I added more of the fronds. And then these beautiful rectangle banners are from Mama Elephant. And these are the eyelet frame dies. And this is a set of 3 frames. And I bought these a couple years ago. And I love how these look with the little holes along the outside of the scallops. So just a beautiful set of frames. And then on the back, I added one of Emma's charm dies. That little tree is this tree charm die from the My Creative Time Christmas charms. And it is sitting on top of the smallest backer of the snowflake die. And then I just cut a little piece of the leftover gingham. It's not even cut out perfectly square or rectangular. And I added the last strip of this polka dot paper, which is also what I used on the front. And you can see you can see Anna's little text sign, text stamp that she has in the set, and I stamped it here. And I actually stamped it over here, but then I colored it with this strip of paper. So I should restamp it, but I've already put this down, so I probably won't. I'll just leave it like this. And I just thought this turned out so cute. What a beautiful card. I love the brown tones of his boots and the backer of the card also. So all the little details are what make your cards come alive, and a lot of those details come at the very end of your card. So you can also do the main part of your card and then walk away from your desk and then come back and look at it fresh a couple minutes later or the next day or whatever, and you'll usually have an idea of what you want to add to your card. The other thing that I know Jennifer McGuire will often say is to take a picture of your card, because sometimes you'll see in a picture what you don't see when you're looking at it. You'll see what you think it needs. Sometimes when you take a picture, you'll see something that you want to color more or do differently. So take a picture of your cards and take a look at that. Take a break. And also just slow down and see what you can do to finish your card off and add sweet little details that will make the card kind of over the top, if you will. It's all the sweet little details in the last couple minutes that I think make the biggest difference in our cards. So I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Saturday Morning Makes and seeing all of these sweet cards that I created. I had so much fun doing this. And I hope you enjoy Anna's release today, and that these are from Red Lead, these are from Photoplay Paper, and then this is from the now defunct IO Stamps. And I'm just so appreciative of Impression Obsession and all the joy I still get from the products that I have in my beautiful stash of stamps. So thank you guys for taking a look at this beautiful Saturday Morning Makes episode. Don't forget to share your mouse cards, Mickey Mouse, Minnie Mouse, or any mouse that you have, for Two Crafters, One Design. And thank you all for joining me for this episode of Saturday Morning Makes, for sharing art in this community. And my love again goes out to all of you that have had surgeries and are going through maybe just challenges of caring for elderly family or family members that are going through things. Just know that you're thought of. My thoughts are with P and Susan and my sweet friend Annette, who just came through a surgery too. So, and my heart goes out to family members that are sick right now. So I just lift my prayers up to you all. Try to remember to choose joy. And thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Saturday Morning Makes. I believe it's episode 19 of 2025. All right, bye everybody. Have a great weekend and happy Halloween. Bye.